Today on Behind the Visor, we're speaking to British touring car driver Bobby Thompson. He's had a relatively short career so far in motorsport, but has already achieved so much. He started in karts just a few years ago before progressing into the Formula Fiesta Championship, then racing in the MSA Single-Seater Championship before competing and winning in the Volkswagen Racing Cup with Team Hard. He's then progressed into the British Touring Car Championship and has already got a fastest lap to his name. Today's Behind the Visor is with Team Hard British touring car driver Bobby Thompson.
I'd have to say my family. It started off with my granddad on speedway bikes, well in the 70s I believe, and then my dad and my uncle moved through to motocross. Too many broken bones and moved into car racing and obviously had me, and that's where it all originated from. I think you learn a hell of a lot. Don't get me wrong, I think some dads and some lads can go well too far and get too far into karting and spend too much money. I think if you take the basics and the racecraft, I think you can, learn so much, even just at club level. For me, it was quite difficult. It took quite long. I didn't have a driver coach back then, which now I realise makes such a big difference. I was going from karting, which is rear-wheel drive, fixed axle, and just rear brakes, to then going to a front-wheel drive race car. It's a lot to learn in a matter of where karting you're out 48 weekends of the year. You're only out 10 times a year maximum in a race car. Yeah, that was the plan. I'm a big lad. I didn't expect to go to F1, but and with the money we had as well, I didn't expect this at all. But yeah, I thought we'd give it a go, see where it takes us. And it was going well, but we just the money had to unfortunately come to an end. I had to change my plans. They are baby touring cars, and it's fantastic racing. Learnt a lot in terms of the hustle and bustle of tin top racing. Got to race with a lot of current touring car drivers now who have coming in and out of the series as well. So a lot of new faces, and it put me on a good platform being on the British GT paddock to get some sponsors in to show them the plan of we're going to start here and eventually end up in touring car. I don't know, I'm not one that takes pressure. I don't get nervous. I think it's because I do the coaching in the weekdays. I think you're around the paddock so much, you're around racing. For example, we're here at Thruxton. I've been here 4 times in the last week. I feel like I've lived here. So for me, I think being around motorsport so much, you look at it more like a job, less of a nerve-wracking thing. Don't get me wrong, sometimes when I'm sitting on there with 30 other nutters on the touring car grid, I'm real nervous, but I can handle it a lot better than now. There's other options. We could have went GT racing, but I think whilst I'm young, I've always wanted to do touring cars. I think with the amount of people we get watch it on ITV and the amount of people that's going to turn up this weekend, it's just a no-brainer really for my sponsors and myself to be on this platform. There's a lot to learn. Yeah, there's a hell of a lot to learn, and not in terms of driving the cars. A front-wheel drive car, one to the other, feel relatively similar in terms of what you've got to do. Cars are a lot softer than what I'm used to, but the things, the procedures, the way you go about, starting a race to finishing a race, coming in, little things actually outside the car that you've got to do different is a massive change to what I'm used to. It's fantastic, to get to come through as well. Obviously, race 1 back at Brands was a bit of a tyre choice that helped us do that. But even race 2 and race 3, even though sometimes we wasn't actually in the top 10, I think in race 3, we were still up there with the guys, and for the majority of the race, fighting them back and getting back in the top 10. So it was a fantastic feeling. But since then, we've struggled to. We've struggled to get that feeling back. 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 We've struggled fantastic. You know, any new sponsors coming on board is a massive help. Without them, we wouldn't be here, obviously. We're not lucky enough to have a rich mummy or daddy, unfortunately, so that's all I'm relying on. And in the weekdays, you know, I've got a good bunch of guys and myself fighting hard to find sponsors 24/7. I want to stay in touring cars for quite a while. I want to conquer this. You know, I've got quite a bit to prove. We've got Jack in the team. He's done his proving, and now he's helping us. You know, and working with us to try and get the car better. Whereas I know I can do it. It's just I need the tools to do it, and that's where we're aiming at.